In today's unboxing, we take a look at Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. Let's take a look.
There are hobbyists among us, geniuses with the ability to play any game they want to. In 1978, a corporation known as The Interior isolated a young hobbyist named John and exploited his genius for their entertainment.
Then one day, their hobbyist ran away. Here we have Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. This is the Kickstarter edition, so there might be a few things in here that are not within the retail edition. This definitely will be a guaranteed retail edition that goes out, as it is a second edition for the highly popular Eclipse Dawn for the Galaxy by Colossal Games. Well, let's just go ahead and take a look, and just right off the rip, this has got an absolutely gorgeous cover. There's really not a whole lot of going on. You can see kind of like little planets going on. The really nice embossed cover for the creator and the name, or the designer and the name, which was one of the Kickstarter stretch goals. So this kind of thing right here is probably not going to be on the retail edition. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, just flipping it over, we can immediately see this gap right here for the box. So I'm guessing there's going to be a good bit more cardboard in this one than there was in, say, the previous edition, that will hopefully bring the box down to, you know, a complete seal once we've gotten rid of all of that extra material. Now, one thing that we have noticed that right here on the side is where it's actually got a lot of the information in the game, where it's got all the components, where it's got the suggestions on it, a little bit of the lore. And that's, once I flip it over to the back side, you're able to see it is nothing but some more of the art. So they've kind of left the box very clean, and I actually like that. But the game is designed for a 14 plus age range, 2 to 6 people at a 25 minutes per person. So of course, the more people you have in the game, the longer the game will take. So let's go here and flip it onto its side. And then here again, we just have the recommendations, the name. On the other side, recommendations name, and then the back. Wow, see, this, as you can probably tell, this is a nice heavy box. Just setting it down on the table shook everything for a brief second. That lets you know just how much is going on here. And something that you can't really tell too much, because I haven't opened it, but that art wraps all the way around. There is a little bit of box damage that happened. It was shipped very, very well. So I'm guessing this right here would have happened probably in the warehouse while they were all out. But that's okay. I'm all right with that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy. The galaxy has been a peaceful place for many years. After the ruthless Terran hegemony war 3027 through 33364, much effort has been employed by all major spacefaring species to prevent the terrifying events from repeating themselves. The Galactic Council was formed to enforce precious peace, and it has taken many courageous efforts to prevent the escalation of malice acts. Nevertheless, tension and discord are growing among the 7 major species and the Council itself. Old alliances are shattering, and hasty diplomatic treaties are made in secret. A confrontation of superpowers seems inevitable. Only the outcome of the galactic conflict remains to be seen. Which faction will emerge victorious and lead the galaxy under its rule? The shadows of great civilizations are about to eclipse the galaxy. lead your people to victory. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds really awesome. I can't wait to dive into this. Now, as a little disclaimer, this usually is not the kind of game I go for in the aspects of its minimal player count being of 2. But this reminds me a great deal of a computer game, a computer civilization type game where you're building, you're exploring, and that's exactly what type of game this is. It is the 4X game. And the way that they have done it here, the mechanics that they have put into here, seems right up my alley. And while it is a minimum 2 players, I have seen many ways where you can kind of play against yourself, really do skirmishes that way, and there are even a couple BGG made, player made solo variants for the game. And that is definitely something that I will be taking a look at, because from what I have seen, this definitely looks like the kind of game that's right up my alley. I just wish it had actual approved solo variants. That actually would probably bump this game up to even higher levels in my book. But as it is now, just the type of game, the mechanics, everything is what drew me in. Let's go ahead and crack it open and take a look. Oh, wow, this thing is huge. All right, so right off the rip, the very first thing we have are the rules. And this right here is nice. One of the things as part of the Kickstarter is we got these game trays. So then here, for them to put this little sheet in here to show you how to package everything back up, that is pretty awesome. And from what I have seen, and just seeing on here, this right here is going to make bringing this game to the table so much easier. That everything is all laid out. That here we can see each one of these little things is going to be, there's going to be one for each of the races. So you just kind of pull out the ones you need at the time. That is so awesome. Let's see here, what do we have on the back? And then how to fill the trays. Oh, that's awesome. So here, not only are they showing you the recommended how to put it back in the box so everything fits neat, but then how to load up the tray and how to fit everything in here. This is really awesome. I'm really digging this. I'm liking this a lot. So let's pull that over here. So I'm guessing a lot of this kind of stuff is going to be Kickstarter exclusive. These special game trays, a lot of this stuff. Because otherwise they would have just gone ahead and put this within the rule book. But so I'm guessing this rule book is what you're going to get in the retail no matter what. And then again, because this is the Kickstarter edition, we're also getting this, all of these upgraded components, and then this how to store it, how to put it in there. We'll start off by going through the rule book, taking a look here. This is really cool. Thank you, playtesters. That was cool. Love it when you see this kind of little stuff where they give notice, credence to the people that help bring everything to life. And then here, right where they have all of your game components all listed out, but here, pictorial representation of everything. That really does help when you're looking for things that you can actually see what you're looking for. I guess not. These pages are thick. Wow, when I turned this, I could have swore I was skipping a page. Like I had 2 pages stuck. 3. No, but it's not. I mean, that's just how thick these pages are. Wow, I'm liking this rulebook so far. The print is a little small. Again, I'm kind of wishing, with a lot of these rulebooks that they give me a slightly larger print. But here it's okay. It's nothing too much. There must be a ton of components to this game. But from what I understand, everything is laid out very wisely so that a majority of this, when you are playing the game, it's very intuitive they kind of let you know everything you need to know within here, so you don't really need to reference the rule book all that much. Again, something else that I really like, that I look forward to diving in and seeing how that all works. But I mean, here you can see where they're talking about all the different components, all the little numbers to go, you know, just to show everything, where everything is, and just how much stuff there is. That is insane. And then a very basic layout. And it's not really showing, but here, because you can see the 1 to 6 players, they'll be around, you know, these little hands are the different little player spots, and depending on what your player count is, it lets you know which ones will be filled for each player count. That's probably a little later in the book though, so I didn't see it right there right off the rip. And then here, this is nice too. All of your upgrades that you can do in the game, they are showing you what all they are and giving you a little description of it. That is awesome. I really like that for your research. Your upgrades and moves. And this right here is another thing that I like what they've added. Because they really were smart with the way that they do your resource management, where they have these numbers. So as you colonize planets, you're moving these cubes where they need to be. Here they can kind of show you a little example where they're moving the cubes onto the sections. Well, so what that does is it makes managing your resources very easy, because as you're moving the cubes, then it shows you how many resources you're going to get now that you're further, you know, along down the line. And every race potentially is different, from what I understand. So all of these numbers might not be the same. And with this second edition, there are multiple boards here to create this, so they're inset. So if you accidentally bump things, you're less likely to move those cubes around. And that was one of the problems with the original game, that so much is done with these cube placements, and before they were just in these lines, that if these were to shift, all of a sudden now you might forget where your cubes are, and you might have to move stuff around and figure out what everything is. So having them done this way with these little insets, to me, looks better, and it helps management, especially on things like bumps and stuff of that nature. So I really like that as well. Here we're showing the different little ships. All of these squares for the ships are the different options that each ship will have. So you can see here the small ship, it's only going to have 4 options or upgrades, and as they get larger, they'll have more and more. And with your different races, some of these will already be filled in, but as you're upgrading, again, it makes it really nice for this game. You'll have some empty spots, so you can put your upgrade on an empty spot, or you can upgrade one of these or overlap any of these, and that upgrade system I really like as well. That's really cool. And then the combat, upkeep, and then all of our different races. Oh, and that's cool here too, because they're here just within the rules. You know, they're showing you all the different races and giving you the little information, because each race is different, where a lot of them have different starting abilities or whatever. Like here we go, like here, these guys, they're starting off with the advanced science. So that's really nice. So because in the game, in the worlds, you'll have advanced for science, for money, for build, that kind of stuff. And so some of them you can only populate if you have the advanced. So these guys already have the advanced for science, so they'll be able to populate a little more right off the rip. So that's cool. But each race is like that. It has their own special stuff. And then all the different Terran races. And that's how we get to all the different, I believe it said 7 on the back, because here you have the 6 different alien races, and then you have the Terrans, the humans, and there are a whole bunch of different ones of those. So that's also really nice, that they have made different versions, different human type races. And then of course we have the ancients. Some frequently asked questions. And then a little cheat sheet. This I'm hoping we'll see as like more of a cardstock variety later in the books, in here somewhere, for a little easier table presence. And then again, same with this. I'm hoping this whole page we'll be seeing somewhere in here. Though with this type of game, there are a ton of rules, there are a ton of mechanics. I really would have liked to have seen an index here to take us to all the different sections on here where they talk about all the different aspects of it. So, but all in all, I really liked the rule book. I liked how it was laid out and done. All right, let's see. So then right off we have our tray, and let's go ahead and pull this guy back out, and we'll pull this. So this is our tech tray. Now the way that the game works, we'll leave this here so we can reference it from time to time. You'll have all of these upgrades as you're going through and you're playing the game. And I think it's based by the player count, how many upgrades you get each turn, or the ability to buy this. Basically, the universe is learning things. So you'll draw upgrades, place them in here, and then players in their turn, they can research things, they can upgrade. So that's how you'll be able to do ones, and different ones cost different amounts. And it's nice because here this tray has all of that printed on here. So you'll know, where to slot everything. So that's really cool. I like that. And then here, this is for the round marker. I believe in the original there was 9 rounds, and they've shortened it in the second edition to 8. Now this is a nice little. I like that. And again, as you're playing, it's something that as the table gets bumped, it's not going to cause problems. And throw things all over the place. And then here would be our tray for all of those upgrades. And that's nice. I mean, it's got the lid here. Not only does it have a lid to keep everything secure, but let's see if you can hear that. But it latches in. So it stays down. Now, most likely, if I do something like this when it's full, that's probably going to open. But that will keep everything nice. And this is nice. I'm really starting to like these game trays. If you look here, even on the simple little things here in the tray, the way that this is designed, can you see these little notches, little inverted pyramids? Because the way it's designed is so they're going to lay, cockeyed a little, and that's going to help once they put them in here. That's going to fill that empty space, so they're not going to move around or jumble around. This is a very well designed. I like this a lot, and it's got of course the logo of the game, says what it is, all your ship parts. That's really cool. I like that. And then we have some characters, and then here are our bags. And this is what I was talking about, how where you will randomly pull stuff. So you'll put all of those tokens in here, shake them up. And this one I like a lot. This is a nice large bag. I can actually get my hand. I have big mitts, so like this one right here worries me a little bit. This I'm gonna have a hard time using. I understand there's probably less in here, but I wish they were both this size, because I'm gonna have a hard time pulling these ones out. But this one right here is absolutely fantastic. I like that a lot. All right. And then our first set of stuff. So let's just go ahead and pop this. And I think one of the Kickstarter stretch goals was extra dice. So that's probably why we're seeing some in both of these, that we did get some extras. And I think it goes yellow, orange, blue, red. And I think the only difference is the 6. Because the 6 is a guaranteed hit. And I'm assuming that as you go up on dice, you're getting more hits in your guaranteed hit. If you get the guaranteed hit, it might be critical. Otherwise, I can't see the purpose of having the different colored dice. But other than that, all the rest of them are just numbers with 1. Notice how 1 is not there because that is a guaranteed miss, so they're not even putting it there. Because as the game goes on, you can upgrade your values will up or down. So let's say here you roll the 5, but you have the targeting computer that's going to give you the +2, so that'll actually move you up. It won't be like a 6, it won't be your guaranteed 6, but it'll change it to a hit. But 1 is always miss, and 6 is always hit. So that's kind of why they've changed those icons. But other than that, they're just numbers 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here are our little cubes for marking all of that stuff. Now these seem a little small to me. There we go. Let's see here. In my little 1 inch by 1 inch square, you can kind of see how small these little cubes are. And then these look like our ancient stuff. Oh no, wait, these are cool. These are space orbitals. Okay, so that's cool. And I think there's going to be different colored ones. Because you have science, money, and build, and these guys give you an extra one, but I think it'll only be like science or build or money or science, something like that. I can't remember which two. I haven't really dove into the rules all that much, but so you'll build that where you need to be, and then with the one that you choose, it's got that nice little inlet so you can set its cube there so you know what you're getting. That is pretty awesome. I like that a lot. But here you can see that. So it's kind of one of those orbiting world little miniatures. There you go. That's really cool on the back. And we got a bunch of those. I like how many they've given us. And then here are the Monolith miniatures. That's cool, I like that. Okay, and it looks like these are just identical. Yeah. And then I think these again are just ancient ships. The Guardians, the ancient ship. That's cool, I like that. And, oh no, wait a minute, no. These ones would be the Ancients and these would be the Guardians, okay. You see a little bit of the punch where I had to get it out of the molds. So if you really wanted to paint these and make them look all nice, you'd want to do a little bit of fill to clean that up a little bit. Very cool. Now the tray for this seems a bit odd because it doesn't, that's weird. Because like with the other trays, they match in, they fit in real nice. But this almost looks like the tray, this lid was made for something else. That's a bit weird. And this, yep. So these two are the same. So we got 2 of those kind of packs. Holy cow, there's so much. I have to find a place to put everything. All right, and then here are going to be our resource tracker boards. So there's going to be one for all of the different races. And it sounds like everything's already in here. So this is kind of nice. I like this. By the looks of it here, your resource tracker doubles as your storage container for it. So that's cool. Yep. There we go. And by the looks of it, you can see we kind of jumbled it around. So it's not absolutely perfect. Doesn't keep everything 100% neat in here. But that's okay. We'll see. Let's run a little test. We'll fit everything back into here. And shut our lid back. Okay, there we go. Let's be really mean to it. Alright, let's see how much damage we just did. Now that is something we would never do in real life. It's just more of a... And actually, I'm really impressed. I shook the crap out of that. And it really didn't mess up all that much. That's really cool. I like that a lot. But these are our tokens for colonization, for when we gain influence on a space area. And then here are all of our little cubes for resource management, colonization, that kind of thing. So as we take over like a planet, we'll move the cube down from one of those like science, economics, build, one of those areas into where we need to be. Here are those, there are the resource markers. So as you're going, so here, because I believe, I don't know, we'll see, we'll have to look. But you're going around, so as you are earning stuff, you'll get it and kind of move your resource, your marker around. Let's see, because I know you can have, oh yep, they fit on top of each other. So that's cool. Because you could have the same amount as you're going through. But, so there we have, for the most likely science, money, and build. I want to remember in the original, this was like a blue though. Science was blue. But there's probably going to be their base. Let's see, yep, star base. And then their interceptor. And then the Dreadnaught. And we can see a little bit, we'd have to do a little cleanup from that tag right there. That's alright. If we were to, paint these and do them all up. Oh, no, I wonder if they have little stands to put these in. Because otherwise, that little dot there's interesting. And then finally, what are you? The cruisers. There we go. And then our cruisers. Same little hole. Did this have one? I don't think it did. Nope. And now to see if the different colors are different. And they are. Okay, so we get to go through every single one. Alright, so that is blue. So there's our star base. And the interceptor. Very bird-like with this one. And the cruiser. And the Dreadnaughts. And there's a little bit of detail here. That's nice. I like that. These right here might just be suitable just to, you can just throw, I mean, if you want to be simple, just throw a wash on those and have all of that stuff just pop. And then their different chips. And white. Oh no, that one's cool. Huh. There's the bottom. And then of course, you know, as we've seen, all of these are the same. Here, the only difference again is those colors, so let's just keep with the miniatures, the star base, and the Interceptor. Cruiser. And then finally, the Dreadnaught. Now this seems very boxy, very transporty. Like I'm expecting this to be a very commerce focused faction right there, just based on the ship design. And then green. The back's just plain. These are probably going to be our plant race. They have one of the larger little cruisers. And their Dreadnaught. And then our final set. Oh, can we scream Borg anymore? Wow. These are definitely my favorite starbase thus far. Yeah, this is our Borg race right here. And their little cruiser. I think whether or not I like the play, the design of this race, I have a funny feeling if I do a playthrough on this one or a simulated playthrough, these guys will probably be definitely coming on the table. Just because I love their little miniatures. and their Dreadnaught. Lord, that is big compared to the rest. Alright. And then we got some padding. Okay. And I'm guessing this is going to be our first player marker token, maybe? There's only one. You gonna say? Round marker. No, this is our round marker. Okay, that makes sense. And then here, oh, see, this one's already got that little stand put into it. That's cool. Because I believe this is going to be the center of the galaxy little miniature. Does that move? That would have been cool if that moved. Alright. Is anybody else getting a, if you remember the old Ninja Turtles Krang Technodrome vibe off of this guy? I'm getting that more so than a Death Star vibe off this thing. I don't know why. Cool. And then here's going to be our tray to hold all of the terrain. Very cool. And so now we can take you back where we found you for now. And then all of our cardboard. Oh wow, and then some more markers and stuff. Alright, so let's open this up and take a look at that. So here are all of our tiles, and the very first thing that I noticed that I absolutely love is that on the punch board themselves, all of the tiles are actually labeled. So as you're going through them, you know immediately what everything is. And that is going to help organize everything and put everything into these trays even that much easier. That is really awesome. Something else is, as I was taking the wrapper off of this, some of these on the bottom just punched out just automatically, just right off the rip. Just goes to show just how great of a punch all of these are going to be. So we're probably going to have, you know, no damage. I can't just with the way that those punch, no damage to these, which is absolutely fantastic. But here we have our sectors. With this one is our center, Galactic center. So it is the only one that is double-sided identically to the other one. The others, we'll go ahead and flip, are going to have a 1, 2, and 3. So that lets you know, because here you have the Galactic Center, locations that are immediately to its first ring around it is a inner, and then the ones that are going to be outside of that will have a number 2, middle, and then the ones that are the third or farther are going to be outer systems. So that's how that works. So that's how you can know. So you'll have these, you know, jumbled up, flipped over, so you don't know what's what, and then you'll draw and then be able to place around. So that's kind of cool. So let's see, since we have a little bit of a variety, ancient, some orbit tiles, reputation tiles, and then our colonial ships. Because every round, I think you have 3 of these that you can colonize a place. So you will, if you decide to do one, then you flip it and then place your cube on the location. Reputation, then the monolith tiles, and then the ancient blueprint. So that's what that is. See, and look at that. I just kind of flexed it a little bit. You can see those other ones starting to come. Oh, see, there we go. So, and then you can see the coating. They put some of that UV coating there on these. Very cool. There's yours. Flip you around. Very cool. I don't know if you've seen this one or not. And then another blueprint. And because when you get into the battle section, it's after you've done all your moves and done everything, so then you decide you're going to go into battle. It's really nice. They did everything really smart in this game, where they have these little numbers here. So I believe it's the lower numbers. Like say there's a battle, it's going to go and say both of these locations, or these sectors. Then whichever one has the lower number. So this is a 208 to a 209. So this battle will happen before this battle happens, if I remember right. So that's cool. I like, again, then they've named everything. And so here you can see that we were talking earlier about advanced sciences and stuff, where it's got that star that lets you know that this one is an advanced one. So there's another example. So for science or for economy, and then for build. So here you'd have to be able to, in order to colonize this planet for science, you'd have to have the advanced science. Let me do something real quick so that lays a little better. There we go. Alright, now that we have cleaned that up a little bit, let's keep going on. Here next we have our next blueprint. And then all of our locations. Oh, and something else that I forgot to show on the last. Okay, so these are some 3s and 2s, so let's keep that. Here we go. So this and this are 2s, all the rest are 3s. And so let's pull. I'm guessing all of these are going to be 2s. Yep. And again, just moving these around ever so slightly. I mean, you can just see they're just falling out. And then, of course, we have the reputation tiles. In the other board, they had some of those as well. Just 2s here, so we see some 2s and 3s. Nothing special there. Same thing for our monolith tokens. They're all the same. And again, these are all the same for our colonial ships. So really all we're interested in is these space tiles. All going to be 3s. Because these will be the majority of them. Because again, they work on outside of the base. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus probably a couple extras so it keeps random. And then whatever that count is for it to go out. I mean, that's all that you can have. And of course, in the outer one, you also have, which we should get into here, the up to 6 player worlds. So that's again why, if you're wondering why were there so less 2s, that's also the reason, because the player boards will also be in that level 2 kind of area. Well, here's our next set of 3. And so these are going to be home worlds by the looks of it. This one, though, is not. I don't know what that one is. I don't think it is, at least. So I think all the home worlds have the hands. I don't know what that's cool. I like that. I don't... Guardian Sector Hex. That's cool. Because I think if I remember when I saw the game board, if you're playing with high count, you'll have your players out there, and then on your spaces where you don't have the players, you have guardians. I think that's what that might be. So that's cool. All right, so this one will have to be a little more. Here's some 3s. And then huh, interesting. So these are different. I wonder if you'll be able to pick your homeworld. That kind of... I love that UV coating. Next, a couple more 1s, 2s, and 3s. So 2 more of each. These must have been stretch goals, being that they're kind of out of print, out of rotation from everything else. And this is a warp portal tile, Eclipse proof of purchase, a throwaway. Okay, I wonder what those are. And then we have another. Oh, no, I might have missed in that last one. Let's go back to you. There's our blueprint. And from that previous tile, that's blueprint. The space station, definitely don't want to miss that. Alright, and then, so let's see here. So these are going to be more Guardian locations. And then, oh, no, there's the one, or 2 R1s. And our 2s. And then the 3s from this board. All right, and then all of our upgrade stuff. Wow. Okay, so here are our boards for our trackers. So that we're going to take those, and let's see, can I find one? Where did I set you guys down? Let's grab one of these and pop you out. Pop the center out so we can see how this is going to look. Let's just grab one. I don't know if this is correct or not. We're just grabbing one for... see how it works. Oop. Let's see, how are you going to go in here? Just like that. Okay, that. I don't know if that's the right one for this one though. Doesn't seem to fit in all that well. But, yeah, because, yeah, because there we go. They're gonna, so you'll be able to see the numbers through there. So that way you can sit your die and it works there. Yeah. So that looks like it works well. And then the back side, no different. And then I'm guessing there's the trash can letting you know that these can be thrown away. Punch these and don't need them because here they got the little trash cans on them as well. That's hilarious. Alright, so there's that. Let's stick you back on. Trash, 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 trash. There we go. And we'll look at these here in a second. Take a closer look at those. Okay, trader, that's interesting. And then our starting player. This one was another one of the changes they made to the game where if you are the starting player, you get 2 extra money. So, because when you're going through rounds, you declare to pass. The first person to pass is the starting player on the next round. So, that kind of gives you an advantage to passing first. Well, let's take a look at all of these upgrades. And man, are there a lot of them. And on the back is the same. Yep, everything's just duplicated. Though here, those are different. They're, that's interesting. Because that's a different race than what was on the front. So I wonder how that's going to work. I mean, what if you want to have those two play up against each other? Okay. So then, oh, and here are our, rather than them just being, I think I remember seeing this from the previous ones, rather than them being just cards or whatever, they have given actual cheat cards, not or cheat tokens, cardboard little punches or whatever. So very, very sturdy. They'll hold up well on the game board. And then here is this. Let's see. Are these the same? These look the same. Yeah. Yep, so these are all the same. So it looks like the management resource tiles are the same for everybody. Yep. So everybody's going to have the same punch here, just different cards. I guess they wouldn't have different cards then, would they? That's all right. We gotta look real quick. Getting a little. Yep, these are all the same too. Oh, and this one still's got his little center. All the rest of them have their center. One center made it. Okay. So yep, all of these are going to be the same. Okay. So yeah, so that's going to be easy to create and set those up because all of these and all of these are all the same. All right. So then here, let's take a look at our little cheat sheet card. Those look like they are the same card. So then the scoring, the same. So that's nice though. So we have 1, 2. So we have 4 of those. 4 of the next. Oh no, more of the next. 6 of the next. Alright, so our next set of upgrade. Now I believe these are the ones that actually goes on your ship in place of, you know, if you're upgrading your ship. And these are the actual upgrade. The pinks are the upgrade tokens, and these are when you, so you have to upgrade it, or you have to research it, and then you have to upgrade it. And then once you upgrade it, you actually put it on the ship. And then, so that 3 race, so then on the other side is the plant. So, let's go back to you. The other side there, them. Again, that seems a little odd to me. Because again, what if you wanted to play them against the plant? I don't know. And then that's cheat sheet cards, so then the phases and your action options. Because what it looks like, we're having a Terran on one side and one of the alien races on the opposite. And then our final. That's probably that Borg-like race. Well, now that we know for sure everything that's going on, let's go ahead and do one of these board setups for real. And by the looks of it, there's a slight little inlet maybe right there. So we'll go ahead and try to fit this in here. I'll say, and this one fits what appears to be much better. So there's that in there. And then this will go there. And a lock in. There we go. And now it's all set in there nice. And so we'll pull out so you can see everything we're doing. So again, here we're going to go, say when we're playing the game, so we'll put all these in here. And then as you're doing stuff, you will take, you know, it out and place it, you know, on your game somewhere, so then you know you're now going to get 2. It moves a little bit, that's okay. That's still nice. And then, so here, 0, you're not making any as you're going down. So no here. Now I know I have 6 money resource. So that's cool. And then, okay, and then that's interesting. All right, so here we're doing 6, but then as you get all the way across the board, if you can then continue to go up, then you'll move it over here. Now I have 40 to 41, so forth and so on. That's cool. I like that. That works. That's a nice little design. And then here, I don't know if you can see it, the little inlet. They're even showing what direction to put that back in there. That is insane. But again, so that makes, I mean, so if you want to play this race, I mean, everything right there, it makes, you know, going out for the gameplay. And then of course, there's all of our throwaway extra little punches. And finally, we have all of our different race boards. And this right here helps out a lot when we were looking at all of the tokens, and we noticed how there was a Terran on one side and an alien race on the other. The same thing is here with all of the race boards, where you have an alien race on one side and then a Terran race or a human race on the other. Right off the rip, for this right here is one of the first things that I have not liked about the game. Because again, what if I want to play these guys against these guys? I can't really do that. And I can't imagine it would have been that expensive to have twice as many of these, so you can actually have one for every race. Of course, that means you would have had to have twice as many of these, maybe, and maybe that's why they did it. Let's see, can you see a correlation here? Is there a brown? I don't think there's a brown. I don't know which ship. Okay, these look like they're that kind of bird type one. Which one was that? Yellow? Let's see. Yeah, so that was yellow. Interesting that they're the yellow one. So let's see if on the other side they use the same yellow. But they're different ships. I don't remember off the top of my head which ones of those were. So I wonder if humans all use the same. Okay, yes, humans all have the same star base by the looks of it. So it looks like all the races are going to have their own, and then the humans, so you're either going to be one of the races or one of the humans. So it doesn't look like you can have two humans against each other. Again, that's a little down to me. I would have liked to have 2 or 3 humans against each other. So I guess that'd be the second thing. Not really. And then the other thing is, if they would have done that, if each one of these boards was, for each race individually, you potentially could have had, here is my player side, and then on the opposite side would have been the AI version of it, how the AI works, if you were to be able to make a solo variant. But so here is this race. Now that I've rambled on enough about these different boards, here we go, and their ships. Yep, and then see right off you can see the difference here. So you can see all the ships and everything, they are a little different. And then here, that looks the same. That's different though. So, and then here's this Terran Republic. I'm on focus. There we go. And then their difference. Now, let's see. Are the Terran ships different? At least with these two, they're not. Those look like the same stats. And then the worlds. That is different though. Alright. So then here we have the plant race. So we'll just go through and we'll look at all of the alien races, and then we'll flip them all over and look at all of the Terran races. That sounds like a plan. And then him. These are nice and thick boards though. I mean, they're not just thin. And the flip. Now these should all be the same. So yep, I can skip the ship. Of course, I'm driving the camera insane. Going back and forth between these. And yep, still the same for the ships. Well, that is everything for this Kickstarter edition of Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy. I hope this unboxing has helped you to determine if this is something you would be interested in. Now, of course, again, this is the Kickstarter edition, so when it hits retail, I'm sure not everything that you've seen here will be in that retail edition, but it does give you an idea of what the game components are, you know, what kind of things you might see in a retail version. So you can have an idea if you would want to pick that up, or if you want to go out and actually try to find this Kickstarter edition. Well, until next time, guys, I'll see you later.